Well, hello, and thanks for stopping by. This is volume 126 of My Prostate is Trying to Kill Me. I'm Mark Graves, just a regular guy fighting prostate cancer, and I'm glad to have you along for the ride. It's Friday, which is Red Friday. Remember, everyone deployed.
Friday.
T-shirt on today, so God bless the troops, and we'll support them until they get home. We'll support them when they get home, too, but we'll be praying for them until they all do. All right, it is Friday. The cancer crew is spread out a little bit. So we've got Brian is here, and we've got Indio here. And what I've noticed is our names don't show up on the YouTube video when people are watching this. So I'm going to go ahead and have you guys wave when we say your name because it makes it easier. Brian's looking for his nameplate.
Yeah.
All right, so it's Friday, and we're chuckling, but I had said on the video yesterday that we're going to try and do an uplifting video today. There you go. Trying to do an uplifting video today just because of the page on Facebook that we're a part of. It's a private one. You have to be invited. It's all guys that have prostate cancer or their significant others or their kids or whoever's on there. And now he's got fancy colors too. And the tone lately has been low. It's been, kind of like the rhythm. There's guys that have lost their battle. There's a lot of guys that just got diagnosed and they're scared. They're freaking out. They don't know what to do. So I got a hold of the cancer crew and said, hey, how about if we do an uplifting video? We'll talk a little bit about our worst moments and the things that scare us the most about having this and what we do to get through it. And wouldn't you know it, I'm at the doctor's today with my dad, and Indio's working his butt off. He's doing stuff, and we have our text thread going, and Brian posts up that he got the results of his blood test today, his PSA test. So that's where Brian comes in.
That was maybe not so uplifting, but it could be. I guess it's all perspective. It went up a tiny bit. The last time I visited my doctor, he said, hopefully it'll stay flat because it hadn't gone up in a couple blood tests. And if it stays flat, we'll just keep checking every 3 months. If it starts going up, we'll start talking about doing radiation. And for anybody watching who doesn't know, I'd had a radical prostatectomy about a year ago, and later learned that I guess it doesn't always work. About 30% of the time you can have a recurrence, and it would appear that maybe I'm in that 30%. So it looks like I'm staring down the barrel of maybe going after radiation now. I don't know yet. Haven't talked to the doctor. I'm trying not to react to that prematurely, so I'll wait till see what the doctor says. It went from 0.06 to 0.07 in the last 3 months.
And Brian's dealing with one of the things that we've all had to deal with is waiting, and waiting is hard. So what really sucks is that, we've been talking over the last couple of days. He's been waiting for the results to come back. Today, the results came back. Now he's got to wait to find out what's going to happen with the doctor. And you see your oncologist next week? Okay.
Yes.
So now we got to wait to find out what the oncologist is going to do. And we've all experienced that. We've all gone through that. And it's tough. So we've done our best today to joke with Brian, and send him stupid pictures on our text messages and, let him know we're there for him and stuff. Unfortunately, Brian and I were talking about this earlier. It doesn't always, it doesn't help as much as we wish it would, because you can't get it out of your mind. And it makes it really tough because number one, you had to wait to find out. Number two, you got to wait to find out what the doctor's going to say. Now we're all throwing our bets in the ring, and I'm saying we're going to be okay. I don't think Brian's going to have to go to radiation. I think he's going to be all right just because it's such a small. But the weird thing is you go from, where'd you start, 0 or 1?
0.03 right after surgery.
Okay. So 0.3, it goes up a little bit. And then 2 tests in a row, it's plateaued. Then it goes up 0.1%. And then 2 tests in a row, it's plateaued. And then it goes up again. It's the weirdest thing.
It's like every other test, it goes up. It's level up, level up.
Yeah. So I'll be anxious to see what the doc has to say, but, obviously praying hugely for you. But I think he's not going to be alarmed. I think he'll probably let you ride a little longer.
Oh, I hope so. We'll see, I guess. I mean, I hope so, and then I don't hope so. You don't know. Is it spreading? You know, is it growing? You know, it's hard not to go to a dark place.
That's a natural tendency to think that way.
Yeah.
The key is how do we stop ourselves from falling from in that well, as Mark would put it differently, but you know, sometimes we get in that funk, right, Mark?
Yeah, and I think having you guys is probably the biggest cure, and my wife, you know, my support. But without that, I think that I would be just sinking down in a deep hole. And I tell you guys, I talk to you, we talk about it. It helps a lot. I mean, immensely. And that's why I think the Facebook group is huge. And like you were saying, Mark, there's some people, it's been kind of dark lately. There's some people that are just wanting to, I think they're because they're alone, you know, and you hear people that I'm all alone. Do you think I can have surgery and can I recover from it while I'm home alone? Wow. You know, that's tough for me to even, I'm thankful that I don't have that situation, but I think just getting out, reaching out to friends is the biggest answer here.
Mm.
And that's the one that caught my attention. I think you guys both saw that thread. I think everybody commented on it. And man, I just felt so bad for that guy because, you know, he didn't have anybody. And it's like, what do you tell someone that, you know, no wife, no girlfriend, nobody in the house, and you know you're going to go have surgery and you've got to come home and, you know, heal up from that and go through recovery and everything and not have someone to rely on. I can't even fathom that.
Yeah, and mission hackers as we are as guys, first thing I did was, oh, where does this guy live? Maybe I can help, you know? We all probably did that.
Yep.
Who am I to help, though?
Yeah, I've had a few of these guys that, you know, and I've just given my number. I go, look, this is my cell phone number. I don't care what time it is, call me, you know, and I'm actually talking to a guy in England right now that's going through this, an amazing guy. And so we've had trouble with, you know, being on opposite sides of the globe here, trying to line up stuff. But yeah, it's just crazy. And I mean, I can't imagine not having you guys, you know.
It's huge.
I had to take my dad to the doctors this morning. And so I talk about you guys all the time, you know, I just call us the crew, the cancer crew or whatever. And so he was like, well, how did you meet all these guys? And I said, well, Tom, I met, you know, in person, actually met him at radiation because he had the appointment after mine. I said, and everybody else I've met through the YouTube videos and through the Facebook page. And, you know, he just, you know, he goes, that's awesome. That's amazing. So as much as I bitch about social media and the social justice warriors and the people who get on their keyboards and just argue for the sake of arguing because they don't have anything better to do, and you can see how angry it makes me. It's just, I hate stupid people. I hate judgmental people. I hate people who are not helpful. You know, I
mean people.
That's not fair. I shouldn't say I hate. I don't hate.
You don't really hate him. Mark's not a hater.
Yeah, I'm not a hater. It's just
you don't like
it hurts.
You don't like them reaching out trying to hurt other people by their comments.
Right. And that's why I'm so protective of that page on Facebook, because that has not infiltrated that yet. Those people, you know, 99.9% of those people that are on there want to help. You know, they want to lift other people up. They want to give them a virtual hug, you know, and so it's stayed pretty pure. You know, I haven't seen people get on there and start, you know, haranguing and that kind of stuff.
No, and there's 15,500 people on that, and all having this in common transcends all that other BS that makes people fight and bicker about things that just don't matter when I think you get your perspective in line.
Exactly. You know, and it's funny too, because there's varying degrees of levels of spirituality on there. And, you know, like I would say, I would put India in the top echelon of spirituality. I'm probably in the middle. There's a lot of people on there who don't, there you go. A lot of people on there who don't, you know, either are very quiet about their spirituality or their Christianity or, you know, religion in general, and just don't want to talk about it. And there's people that are atheists. You know, it's just everybody has that. I'm sure that even though we don't talk about it, I'm sure there's Republicans on there, independents, Democrats, you know, whatever there is, liberals, you know, conservatives, ultra right, ultra left.
That's out the window. You got PC, brother. That's out the window. You don't care.
Yeah.
because it brings us all together. So
Yeah.
whatever else you got going on in your life, as soon as you have a little organ in your body that's trying to kill you, nothing else matters.
You realize how much baby poop that stuff really is.
Exactly.
And there are no atheists in foxholes.
Exactly.
There you go. That's right.
Exactly. And not that I would wish anything bad on anybody, but I wish that for 3 or 4 months, everybody in the United States could understand what we feel, could understand, like Tom always talks about, living our life 3 months at a time, because we do, waiting for our PSA results every 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, whatever schedule we're set up on, that's where we find out, okay, I made it through this 3 months. How am I going to do for the next 3 months? And so you rely on your brothers to build you up. And it's just amazing that, these guys don't get on there and talk about politics. I'm in probably 6 different Santa Claus pages, and you wouldn't believe the fighting and bickering and name calling that goes on in there because of religion, because of politics, because all that stuff. What it comes down to, we're all brothers. We're all human beings, and right now we're all trying to stay alive. So,
yeah.
If we could just get everybody to understand, hey, none of the other stuff matters. Just the fact that you love your fellow man, and you're trying to help them through. And I know from both of you, having met your wives, I can see the support system that you have, and it's just fantastic. So I do feel bad for the guys that don't have that as an immediate support system. But then you do have people with kids and all that kind of stuff. But long way of getting back to the one thread that we were talking about, where the guy didn't have support. So, if anybody from the Facebook page is watching this, we're completely accessible. I check the messages on these videos every day. You can find me, Mark Tasgraves, on Facebook. Brian Schiff, you can find him on there. Indio, I think you're listed just as Indio Velasquez, right? On Facebook. We're all on there, and we're not hiding from anybody. If you guys ever, I don't care what time it is, if you're having a rough night, having a rough day, whatever it is, you want to just cry to somebody that'll understand, we're here. I mean,
we've been through it, and we're still going through it, and we will talk anytime. I will give my cell phone number to anybody who doesn't have someone to talk to about it.
Yep. Or if you want a Zoom call, if you need to see me in person, no problem. I'm retired. I can roll out of bed any hour of the day and sit in front of my computer or talk on my phone or text, whatever you need to do. Indio, he's a little harder to get a hold of.
Yeah, I'm not to take it off the subject, but I am studying for my ham radio license extra, which is the highest level you can get. And so I'm really cramming that, and along with work and family, of course. So I'm really cramming for that. The test comes in Tuesday.
Wow.
Good luck.
And, it's just one of those things I'd like to do, is even reach out via ham radio, talk to guys that are going to do that, because, anyways, a lot of avenues to reach out and talk.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're watching this, the invitation is real. Mark is real. Come on, just reach out and talk to him, or he'll get a hold of us and we can talk to you. It's just a matter of reaching out. Let me put it this way. If you are able to put that kind of message on Facebook, and then somebody responds to it by saying, hey, give me a call, email me, FaceTime me, Zoom me, whatever. Do it, man. Just do it. Don't worry about what it may look like. You know what it's going to look like? It's like one brother talking to another and say, hey, I feel you, man. We've gone through that. And if I hadn't gone exactly what gone through, I know somebody that has. Reach out to Mark, reach out to the guys. We're there for you, period.
Exactly.
Couldn't have said it better.
And for you, Indio, what do you think has been the hardest thing for you to deal with through all of this?
Well, I think it's the mental aspect. I think Brian and I kind of touched on that weeks ago, a couple of months ago, on how maybe even you and I talked about, you think about your manhood. You go like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? Will I ever be able to make love to my wife again, or uh, just to use your manhood? You kind of like, oh crap, is that it? Is it over? And then by extension, which is really not, which is normal, but it's not rational. That doesn't mean your life is over. It just means this part of your life is just taking a break. Whether we can come back from it, it all depends on medicine, right?
Right.
Sometimes I had a back surgery where a year ago, if I had gone into the surgeon, he would have put metal bars and braces on my back. But for that 1 year break, it turned out to be a macro surgery, which is he goes in with little tiny pliers and fingers, and takes out that floating material in your spine that hits your spine. It makes you go like, bounce up because of pain. That 1 year, somebody came up with a perfect tool to, instead of an 8-inch scar on my back, it was literally a half of inch scar on my back. And the procedure was almost the same.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? That's a 1 year gap. So, hey, I'm looking forward to, some genius medical guy coming in and say, hey, we can help you out.
Yeah. And
Wouldn't
the
you love that,
imaging.
man?
Yeah.
I mean, that's so I know I'm hopeful there's something out there like that. But in the meantime, back to my thought process. Yeah, I was thinking, well, my manhood's over. It wasn't, and I know it wasn't, but it's just that feeling. It was like, oh, crap, kind of that's what you live for, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's slowly being taken away. I don't like that feeling. Don't like that feeling. But that's what took me down that rabbit hole, kind of that dark space. And then, I watched your YouTube and I said, man, this guy's pretty real. He's telling it like it is. Mark, you're real open, brother. You say stuff I'm like, whoa. but that's real. That is real.
Yeah.
So that's what made me approach you in the first place. And then you kind of coaxed me coming out. It wasn't, no, come on out, tell me your story. It wasn't like that. It was like, hey, when you get a chance, come on out, let's talk. So yeah, something like that we need in our lives, man to man. We need somebody that's been there, can talk about it, help us express ourselves, and be able to just I guess it's like an outlet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even the ugly part, we need to know that. Guys want to hear that, they want to know it, but you're not going to get it in books and articles and the doctor. There's certain things they just don't talk about, and you get a group of people who've been through it, and they can tell you the ugly part because you want to know.
Yeah.
You're afraid to ask.
Yeah, Mark.
And there's so much of it too. There's things that, who's going to think to walk into their doctor and say, hey, at some point during radiation, are they going to have to put a stick up my butt and get the gas out? Tom would have never been a question in his mind, but they had to do it to him twice during radiation. It's just the stuff we've been through. And how are you going to, even I was talking to you guys before we started recording, took my dad to the doctors again this morning. And I talk about you guys like, you live around the corner. And so, I was just trying to explain to him, and I said, I can talk to you all the time, talking to my dad, and you're never going to understand exactly what I'm saying because you haven't been through it. And that's not just prostate cancer, that's anything. You
Sure.
can talk to other people about it, but unless you've actually experienced it, it isn't going to be there. And with prostate cancer, I think you hit it, right on the head. Other kinds of cancer, it's different. we're losing, our manhood out of this, because during treatment, during diagnosis, during pre-diagnosis, that's probably the number one thing that guys have happen. You get ED going on. You're not, a lot of times you're not producing ejaculate anymore. So, there's your assault right there. That's where your psyche just goes, wow, what the hell is wrong with me?
Well, and we were put here to reproduce,
Exactly.
that prime directive, that primary thing, purpose has been taken away.
Right.
Prime directive. That's why you created, to procreate.
Yeah. Plus our entire life, that's been our goal. It's just like, that's how we've shown our wife we love you. Now that may not be the perfect.
No, we hear you, brother. We hear you. Come on.
Yeah.
Preach it, man.
It's part of it,
But you even take all that away and you say, okay, yeah, but okay, you've had a good run, and I'm willing to acknowledge that. I had a good run. It was great. If it never comes back, at least I'm alive. But then you get this PSA going up, or you get it still not there. You're still getting checked. There's still something trying to kill you. And then you have that underlying fear of dying.
Yeah.
That's there. It's real.
Yeah. So the everyday reminder is there, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't have pain from my prostate. It doesn't, after the radiation, I don't have the lightning bolts anymore up my ass that I had before. So, those were extremely painful and out of nowhere, just jarring, having to deal with.
So that's what that was.
Yeah. Wow. So I haven't had to deal with those. We're assuming that's what it went through. But I don't have a daily, it's not like having lung cancer when you cough, really bad, or brain cancer where your skull feels like it's going to explode. Most of the time, prostate cancer, unless you're riding a bike, you don't seem to have a whole lot of pain associated with it. And even the guys on Facebook said the same thing. It's not, there's actually times you forget that you have it, or at least I do. There's, times during the day where I don't think about prostate cancer. It's not part of what I'm doing. Then something else comes in where I get really tired. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. My treatment is kicking in.
Is that the one they call a silent killer? Is that the one?
Yeah, kind of like that, but then you start to remember, oh man, Valentine's Day is coming up, hey, I'm not getting none, or hey, it's Friday night, date.
Not giving none.
I'm not getting none. That has changed. And for me, one of the worst parts right now, and it's not something I had to deal with before, and I don't know why it's kicking in now, but I've been having some fantastic dreams lately. I'm
That's good, bro. Hey.
Yeah, I'm remembering stuff, from way back the beginning of Kelly and I, starting to date. And man, I'm getting broken up just thinking about it, but good dreams. And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, times that you would wake up with, morning wood like this. And I wake up, but there ain't no wood.
Well, I had, how on that note, you people who get their arms cut off or legs cut off, and then they have phantom pains in their arms or legs that are missing. Yeah. I woke up feeling like I had that morning wood like crazy. I'm like, oh my God, I look nothing.
Blanket's completely flat. Yeah.
It's the mind. It's the mind.
No tent. Yeah.
Go back to what we remember. And I guess that's good, but sometimes that discourages me too. To be honest, sometimes I love the thought, and then sometimes I get discouraged because it's not there. That's where we start going down that rabbit hole, and I really don't like it.
Yeah.
But I get the pleasure of talking with you guys, and I get more kicks out of watching you guys text each other than me throwing something in, because I'm like, wow, these guys are on it, I get a lot of kicks watching that. So, so that's probably another thing you probably want to encourage the people on Facebook. Hey, I know it'd be a long string, but join the PC gang. What would you call it?
Cancer Crew. And along those lines, I'm extremely happy that you and Lee are going to be hooking up and having lunch, because you guys are.
Oh yeah, we talked for about a half hour, and I don't know if you checked out his studio online.
I didn't.
Dude, that guy's work is awesome.
Really?
check it out. Yeah, he's not just a photographer. He's a photographer. I mean, he got his art. It's like artwork. I mean, it's amazing.
I'll have to check that out.
With people and products and stuff like that. I was like, wow, that's really impressive.
That's cool.
Yeah, check it out.
That is awesome.
And thanks for telling me about Traveling Robert's YouTube website, YouTube channel, because now I'm not being able to get any work done. I'm watching all his videos. He's only got about 8,000.
Traveling Robert, yeah.
That guy's awesome.
Since have you picked up your RV yet?
Supposed to pick it up next week, but I'm thinking I may bow out. I just think it's too much for my truck.
Yeah, listen. You listen to those guys, man. They've been through it, and depends on your truck. That's true.
Here's the reality of life. You guys talk about the truck. I need 2 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, depends on and the length, you know, and then whether it's a three axles, 2 axles. Wow, that's
yeah. It's a shorter fifth wheel. You know, I looked at the weights. I look at my truck. I got a 1/2-ton Silverado.
How long is that one?
It's 28 feet. It's not big, but
no, but you have to add your truck. How long is your truck?
Yeah, and it's more about the weights. The 2 weights together add up to
total length, truck and fifth wheel. What are you talking about? 38?
40 probably.
Yeah, that's big, brother. Yeah.
But I just think I don't want to tear up my truck, and I don't want to, you know, go somewhere, try to go uphill and realize, oh, it can't do it.
What about a pull behind instead of the fifth wheel?
What's that?
What about a pull behind instead of a fifth wheel?
I think I need to look for something smaller for a 1/2-ton truck. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think what I'm going to do is when you go, I'll just rent a pull behind and take it with me. You know, a lot more comfortable that way.
And they're cheaper, and I think that's just the better way to go. I don't want to be pushing right at the limit, damaging my engine, transmission, and not only that, but you get pulled over. You know, they can check the weight. You have to go to a weigh station and you're overweight. There's big fines for that.
Yeah, so you'd be killing your brakes, killing your tranny.
Especially up by where you guys are, California.
Yeah.
Drive through. Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, I said it was going to be an uplifting video, and so you kind of got to see what it's like. I wasn't planning on actually getting that involved personally with it, but that's how it works. You know, it's just you can be fine 1 second, next second, boom, you're not. You know, but I got my buddies in the cancer crew, and we've got the people on the Facebook forum, you know, to talk to. But seriously, if you want to contact any of us, and so Tom was working today. Oh no, you know what? This is the weekend that his wife or his girlfriend's taking him out of town.
That's right.
He used that excuse last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he pulled this thing. I know, because he missed the lunch, and then he said, "Oh no, it's next weekend. I'm supposed to be able to do it." I said, "Oh, okay." And then let's see, Steve Nelson is camping. He took off, I think, early this morning and went camping. And then the other Steve wasn't able to get a hold of him. So we're the 3 that are here today. But you know what we're saying goes for everybody. You know, we're here to talk, and
anybody's down in the dumps, man, and you want to just talk privately, one-on-one, text, I don't care. Want my cell phone number, reach out.
Yep.
Yeah, reach out, brother. Reach out.
And you know what I'd really like to play with too is doing a Facebook Live, and you know that way people could type in their questions, you know, without being seen, because that's the biggest thing I run into is that. Obviously, you guys are a little bit on the extrovert side. You know, you're not shy, you're not bashful, you're not afraid to be on camera.
Hey, he's a pilot. I'm a pilot. You know, we have our own death wish.
There you go. You know, to tell you the honest to God truth, I didn't think Tom was going to say yes when I asked him, and because he and I talked quite a bit before I ever asked him to be on the videos, and then when I asked him, he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And then it took us a few weeks to get it set up, you know, but He doesn't talk much, but he's not afraid to be on there. And
Right.
I'm anxious to get Steve Nelson on there because he's going to do the knife radiation. So I want to get him on and get, pick his brain and do a video with all the explanation for that. But that's why we're doing this, is like I always say in the description on the videos, hopefully, you get one of three things out of here: some new information, a shared life experience, or maybe some humor. And
know you're not alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're never
That's
alone.
number one, really. That's number one. Listen, that Facebook Live, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah,
People, they don't have to show their faces, but they're on.
Just type their questions over on the side, and if we work as a team, we can keep track of what the questions are on there, and then answer the questions as we go. We could set it up for an hour, and then
it's got to be short at first. Got to be short at first, because naturally it's gonna go.
We don't have to go. We don't have to go the whole hour, but we just block it in there, and then you can always end it early if you want to. So, because we do that with the Orange County Gunners, and it works out pretty good. So anyways, we'll work about that later. But the other thing I was going to tell you about before we close this video out is just something stupid that I come up with. But show them your shirt, Indio. Okay, so this one says, "I'm fighting prostate cancer. What's your superpower?" And the other one that we have is it says "FU," and then it has the banner, and then it says prostate cancer. And so I get people all the time, and they're like, "Hey, where can I get that shirt?" They're from me. I make them, and I have sold some on the side. I don't advertise them on the channel at all. But what we're going to start doing is on Fridays, just kind of as a reward, because we have 268 subscriptions to the channel. But when you look at the analytics, there's tons of people watching these videos, but they don't interact with them. They either, they're not subscribing, they don't click the thumbs up, but there's a bunch of people watching these things. So what I like to do is try and draw them in a little bit and say, hey, come in here and get a hug. So on Fridays, we're going to do Free Shirt Friday. So on the videos that we do on Friday,
great idea.
We'll put a word in there, and then all you got to do is comment below, and whatever the word was, put it in there, and then we'll just draw, write out everybody's hat name, cut them up, put them in a hat. We'll pull one out, and then come on Monday, we'll announce it, and we'll send them a shirt, and we'll send them a wristband, the prostate cancer wristband. So total cornball, but it'd just be, kind of a fun thing to do.
It's fun, and let me know. I can always contribute towards a couple of shirts.
No worries. No big deal. It's just awesome. So I would just like to, right now, just say a huge thank you to everybody that watches these. Because like I say, you look at the statistics that show up on the page, and there might be, maybe 5 people give it a like, give it a thumbs up or whatever. And like I say, 268 subscribers, but thousands of people watch the videos. And I cannot tell you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, how good that makes me feel, because even if you're not interacting with us, at least the information's getting out there, and people understand that, we're here to help. Basically, we're not trying to sell you a car or anything like that. We just want to be here to help you guys, because it sucks ass having prostate cancer. It's just, it sucks. But if you got other people to go through it that understand it, maybe it sucks a little less. I don't know. So I love you guys.
Love you, bro.
Thank you, man.
And thank you so much for being here today. As always, we can't tell you how much we appreciate all of the prayers, the positive vibes, the good thoughts, the aloha, the shaka, the good juju, whatever you guys send our ways. And know too that we're praying for you guys every night too. A lot of you, we know your names, a lot of you don't, but when we tell God that, hey, pray for everybody that's watching the videos that's got prostate cancer and their families, we honestly mean it. We're sending just as much back as you guys are sending to us, and we really appreciate it. So if you'd like to follow along, feel free to subscribe. Click that button down there, click the little bell. You'll be notified every time we got a new video up here. And for heaven's sakes, doesn't hurt you. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and that'll help the algorithm on there, and more people will be able to find us. And it's working. It's working, because I'm getting people now, it tells you where they came from. And we actually have people finding us on YouTube that didn't come from Facebook. So, and I don't really, advertise this on my Instagram or that kind of stuff. It's just on Facebook. So the people that didn't come here from Facebook are finding us through the algorithm on YouTube. And that's fantastic, because that means a lot more people can find the videos and benefit from this. So
That's good stuff.
yeah, it really is. So, all right, you guys have an awesome weekend. I'm going to, in fact, stay on for just a second. I'm going to go ahead and click off the recording, but we will see you guys on the next one.